Good morning, Student Affairs and Enrollment Management. I hope everyone is having a nice day today. Did not freeze too much when you walked to the campus center for live Florida blood. It is getting a little chilly. But we are just going to go ahead and get started today. We have some very cool, new, exciting stuff, in my opinion, to go over today. But first, in true staff development fashion, we are going to kick it off with the new players in our division, new folks in our division. So, for those of you who don't know, if you're new, we usually take some time at the beginning of these meetings to introduce anybody who has recently started working in our division. So, we're going to go ahead and do that now. Is there anybody that would like to introduce themselves? If you are new, go ahead and stand up so I can bring you the mic. So, typically we do like name, maybe hometown, just a little hello.
Good morning. I'm so excited to be here at the University of West Georgia. My name is Anne Marie Reed, and I have been hired to be here as the Assistant Dean of Students and the Director of Community Standards. And so I've just finished my first week here. I'm originally from Massachusetts, but I traveled all over the Midwest, and I just left Memphis, Tennessee at Rhodes College to come here.
Excellent. Thank you. Welcome. Yeah, you go ahead.
Hi guys, my name is Erin Taylor. I've been hired as a student conduct investigator. I've been here for about 3 weeks now. I'm originally from Eastern Kentucky, if you can't tell from this wonderful accent. That's about it.
Welcome.
Hi, I'm Trudy Jackson, and I'm the new imaging coordinator in Enrollment Services.
Hi, I'm Chris McDaniel, and I'm the new departmental assistant for the graduation team in the registrar's office. Gotta get scooting over here. Okay.
Hi, I'm Harry McCollin. Madison, Wisconsin, and joined Carrie and the budget career services team. My biggest budget manager.
Thank you and welcome. Okay, so typically when you say good morning, they're just like good morning, and then the person over here is like, no. I'm just gonna gauge how it goes by the go Wolves that I get. All right, so go West.
Go Wolves!
One more time, go West.
Go Wolves!
Excellent. So Allison asked me to take control of the day and kind of debut some what I think is really new, fun, and exciting stuff. And also to begin my comedy career, so I put on my best young insurance agent outfit to talk to you today. So I hope that I'm entertaining, and if nothing else, you can laugh at my fully endearing silliness that always comes out. Anyway, so you're probably like, what is Think Forum? Well, this is a new professional development opportunity that has been kind of under work for the past couple months. It was something that we had originated back last year and are now rolling out for this coming academic year to actually begin this semester. But I'll get into the specifics of what the Think Forum is. But first, I wanted to kind of start with why. I'm going to start with why kind of guy. Stephanie knows that very well. I do that a lot with the orientation leaders, looking at why we do what we do. And so let me explain that really quickly. First of all, is everyone okay with me down here? Are we good? Okay, cool. Well, originally thinking about it, the Professional Development Committee was looking for an additional opportunity. We have a lot of great stuff that we do within our division, and additionally, we are very committed to the professional development of each and every member of this division. But we wanted to see if there was any additional opportunities that we could come up with that were easy to do, that didn't have a high impact on any budget necessarily, and also was inclusive of all of the professionals that work in our division. So that was the first thing. We were looking for something new. The second thing was there was actually a direct call to action from our Vice President, Dr. Scott Lingrel, for the professionals in this division that go out to various conferences and developmental opportunities to bring back some of that knowledge. Because we are so committed to the professional development of people within our division, it would be great if some of that knowledge that is gathered at these conferences and other opportunities can be brought back to UWG, and we can celebrate that together. So we wanted to try to figure out something that would honor that way to bring back that knowledge. And then the last thing is we do have a bunch of different stuff for a bunch of different players within our division, all of us, senior leadership, and etc. And we did want to find an additional opportunity that anyone in our division could participate in. So this is kind of what we had come up with, and it was a deliberation, a lot of conversation around what would be appropriate, what would potentially not work, what may work. And so hopefully this will be something that is of interest to you, because it kind of sparks my interest. But okay, the Big Forum. What is it? You're like, come on, man, just give it to me. The Big Forum offers a space for SAEM professionals to build relationships, present current research, practice an ed session or a future conference, bring back knowledge to UWG, and present on a relevant issue or topic. Okay, yes, it is going to be this cool presentation day that is tailored or paired with a digital infrastructure that will house all of the content that is presented at the Big Forum. So, let me do my best at explaining this. I don't have a lot of content up here for you, so stay with me as best you can. Essentially, the Big Forum is going to be designated on 1 day per semester, probably towards the end of the semester, and it is going to be a day in which there will be 3 presentations, 3 ed sessions that happen concurrently. At these different ed sessions, there's a wide variety of topics that you can present on, and it's really up to the presenter. The idea behind this was to offer a space where any SAEM professional could challenge themselves to go out and present, if they don't typically do that, or go get some knowledge that maybe is of interest to them. We have a lot of different types of disciplines within our division, right? Not only is it student affairs, your typical classically trained student affairs professionals, but also we have healthcare educators and policemen as well. And so they all have very, very cool data, very interesting research, but it not necessarily can come out in these all-staff meetings. So this is a great opportunity for folks that may not typically benefit all that much from the information, the knowledge that's shared in here, to go out and gather for their specific discipline. But within these 3 presentations that will take place, 2 of them will be open topic, and it will be up to the Professional Development Committee to kind of receive proposals, evaluate, and then assign presenters to days and times. 2 of them will be those open presentations, and then the third one will be the Bring It Back session. And that will always be a roundtable facilitator-led discussion with an agenda in which the people that come to that roundtable discussion have content from a conference to bring back and to discuss. So if you were to attend that roundtable discussion, you're either going to go get that knowledge that's being brought back, or you have actually gone to a conference and you are going to bring a discussion point for that roundtable. But again, the other 2 are open presentation. So you could potentially present on research that you've been doing. You can present an ed session that you want to practice for an upcoming conference that you may be presenting at. You may think it's beneficial to redo an ed session that you did present at a conference because it had some really, really good feedback, and you would like to share that knowledge here at UWG because it would be beneficial. But that is essentially what the Think Forum is. It is a day where we, as a division, can get together and celebrate the knowledge that exists here. From all of the different work that we do, and from all of the different places that we go, bringing that back. Now, it is optional. I do want to mention that. Because of all of the various disciplines and functional areas that do exist within our division, we understand that this might not be for everyone. We you might not need to go to the Think Forum that time because there really isn't any relevant topics for you to enjoy or to benefit from. And that's totally fine, and we understand that. So this probably won't end up being a division-wide thing every time, unless we have some really cool topics for that day. Now, there is another piece of this. Along with the actual day of the Think Forum itself, there's a whole digital infrastructure that is going to be created that is going to house all of this information, do RSVPs, reminders, and all of that stuff. And it comes from an idea that is from Heather Solov, and it's something that she's implemented already in housing. And I'm going to let her talk about that, but it's going to do everything for us. And go ahead, come on up here. Give it a little shout.
Good morning, everyone. So what everyone was talking about, this digital infrastructure. This came from an idea that I wanted to do for the students that I was advising. I advised the Residence Hall Association last year, and much like all of us going to lovely, wonderful conferences, we get a lot of information, and these students want to share it. The way it was being shared, not so great. So I thought, well, there has to be a way that this can be digitally stored, that's searchable, a living, breathing database that is accessible by all the students that might need to access it. So that would be the RHA Program Resource Database. What I'm going to show you here is the example that is already implemented for RHA and how that's being kind of tweaked and transformed to fit what we need here for professional development. So this is the PRD. It is housed in OrgSync because the university uses OrgSync and we pay a lot of money for it, so we're going to use it. And that way it's accessible for everybody. So this is what it starts with. When students go to a conference, there's an online form that they can pull up on their phone if they want to print it out and handwrite it instead. It's really easy for them to use. It has all the information that they would need. So let's say I go to a program session at an RHA conference on, I don't know, a program like SafeTree, right? This would be a way for me to bring all of that information back and be able to share it with the university if I wanted to implement it here. So it starts off with categories, and we'll get to the categories and how that plays into that in a minute. But it starts off with categories that this program might go into. Then we have all the information we need, right? So general information like the program title, a brief description or abstract, similar to like what you would get in the abstract for a program booklet that you would see on a guidebook, or what you would get at a professional conference. Target population that was supposed to go to this program, the number of people that actually came, and then the origin. I think the origin is super important, right? A university has a very specific reason of why they're doing something, similar to why we want to do things here. If the origin doesn't fit, what's the point? So that way we can see, why did this university do this program? What was the purpose behind it? And we can kind of use that to figure out, is that something that we need here? How it took place from start to finish, very self-explanatory. You need that information if you're going to implement something similar. Then the total budget, how is it marketed, the lasting effects. You get the gist of this, right? It's all the information that you would need to implement it here at West Georgia. Then those categories I talked about. I kind of came up with some basic categories based on the programs that our students tend to do here. And this is something that the programs that RAs put on, our hall councils put on, things of that nature. So the files. It's a living, breathing database. So when you go into RHA's OrgSync, you find under files all the same categories that these students put forward on this form. On the back end, there's someone that in RHA that exports all these form upload submissions and then re-uploads them into the appropriate category. So as you can see, we did a test run of this with a conference that they did over the summer, and this is kind of our proof of concept that it works. And so you can see under educational programs and passive, sorry, the lines in the middle of it, under passive programs, there's already a couple items in there. NCUR was the conference that went to the summer. It doesn't take as many students, hence the number of submissions. But here's the example. So under educational programs, these were two programs that one of the students attended, and they wanted to share it with UWG. So there's balancing multiple tasks and Dr. Doom's guided program planning. That's the conference they went to. And so while it says conference programs, I also use this to track hall council programs, similar to how RAs put their program submissions forward and we're able to track them that way. This way our hall councils also have a database of all the programs that they put on. So if it was a program that they had done here, it would say hall council program instead. What happens when you click on one of those files? That abstract is what's so important when you put it in the form, similar to what we see in a guidebook for a conference. That's the abstract that was presented to them. You can see that, and before you even get into all the details, you can decide, is this something that I need to continue looking at? Is it going to fit what I need? Once you want it, you download the file, and it comes up in your computer in a very easy to read document based on the form. So it has all the information that was on the form. So how is that going to work for here for professional development? A similar database can be created through OrgSync, through the BPSAEM, through his OrgSync. He has an OrgSync portal that he sends us all these lovely meeting messages. A database can exist there too. So when we go to conferences, a form is going to be created. The similar database will be created with all the categories and information that we need based on all the various disciplines like Evan was talking about that we can search. If I wanted to know something about academic advising, I know we had just had a whole bunch of people go to NACADA. If I wanted to know something that they learned and I could make it to this same forum session or that topic wasn't selected to be brought up at the same forum session, I could go to this database and say, I want to know about this. Let me click on this category and let me see what I can find. So that's what we're kind of creating here. And I'm going to pass it back to Evan to talk a little bit more.
Thank you, Heather. Yes, super excited about that. It's when I was told about this idea, I was like, well, that's exactly what I needed to pair with this thing form, because there has to be some sort of architecture that exists online for all of this data to be stored. So, thank you. So, a couple things to note. Just keep in mind that this is an optional opportunity, so we're not, asking you to go out and really just come up with a presentation to do at the Think Forum, but it is going to be an option if you would like to participate. Go out and either view a presentation or do a presentation yourself. All SAEM professionals are welcome to submit proposals, and really the topic ranges from A to Z. There is no guidelines. It needs to be beneficial to our industry, to our profession, to the practice that we do. But within that is very vague and open. RSVPs, reminders, and other logistics, just a reminder that will be taken care of by the program support professional, which I guess I outlined on the proposals meeting, so yay. And I'm very excited about it, but just know it's going to be automated. There will be some automated communication, and it will all be housed online. And then the last note up here, it says participation and sustainability. One thing that I did want to mention is that this is really predicated on your involvement. So it does need to be something that we keep in mind as we go to conferences. What can I bring back and what can I provide to the database? Because if we do not have user interaction, then it just won't be a sustainable thing that would be beneficial to us. So within its first year, I guess, we're going to be definitely growing it. And that was another thing that I wanted to mention. It is a new thing, so it will be kind of evolving, changing, and adapting to the needs of our division. Things may not work, things might work really well, and just like everything we do, we will assess, innovate, and improve. So that is the Think Forum. I don't know if there's anything I forgot to mention off the top of your head. Okay. I do want to take maybe 3 minutes for questions really quickly. Did I do that good? Oh my God. Well, if I didn't, you can email me. That's totally cool. If you don't want to raise your hand, I would love the feedback. So if you're worried about something, feel free to shoot me a message, and we can chat about it, and I can have it to think about when we actually go and execute. Pick a day, pick some space, and create this database, and then do a full rollout via email communication. Okay, so. That's it. That's the Think Forum. We're going to move on in our agenda for the day. The other thing that we had planned of what's left is another kind of new initiative, new thing that the Professional Development Committee is going to be rolling out within these staff development meetings. So you all know we have them every month throughout the year when we can have them in that month. And sometimes there is content that is that we really need to present on like the leadership level, but there are other days like today when the content is kind of free-flowing. And so to supplement those days that are available, we are going to start to get to know the division a little bit better. One of the things that we were discussing in our meeting is that there are so many people in this division, and there are also very intricate tasks and pocket kind of things that we do within our departments, and not a lot of people may know about those things. So we wanted to kind of share the work that we do with each other, being in the form of a very short presentation, generally overviewing your department, which would be the responsibility of the director within your department. Today, I'm going to be doing ours as an example, and because we are directorless, I guess it's me. No, I volunteered to do it, and I am more than happy to, but please don't look me as a burden. Anyway, it will be the responsibility of that leadership within your department, and it's a very general overview of what you do, the different silos that exist within your department, so to speak, and kind of all of the stuff that goes on. So please use this as an example. One thing to note about that, when we do our update email, our reminder email for the content about ThinkForm and stuff like that, we will also have an opportunity for people to sign up for a time slot or a presentation day. Now, keep in mind that it won't be every staff development meeting, because there will be some days that we need the entire hour to relay divisional messages. Okay, so let's get into it. So my department is the first year experience, and I have our mission statement up here. I would like to read it. The mission of the first year experience department is to implement pre-college programs, orientation, and first-year programs to successfully transition incoming students to the University of West Georgia so they can persist and graduate. Yes, we have an awesome department. I want to highlight the professionals that work in there as we go through this. So we'll just go ahead and get into it. With our department, the first year experience, we have three main functional areas that exist within our department. The first one is orientation, and with orientation, there are 2 full-time professional staff members that work on that. One being Stephanie Kasman, and the other being myself. We also have 2 amazing graduate students, Alyssa Mitchell and Allison DeLucia, and they're up here. We got a little fan club. Okay. Ignite and FYP, and we have 1 full-time professional that works to support those 2 programs, and that's Melissa Grasso, right here in the front corner. Go ahead and raise your hand, Melissa. She loves attention. Just kidding, that's not really true. I like Melissa because we are like the cold ones in the office, and we like hold on to each other and remind each other that we're not crazy because we get that cold. It's crazy because she's from up north too. Anyways, we're going to continue. Pre-college programs are dual enrollments at the University of West Georgia. We have 2 full-time professionals that work over that initiative as well. April Wood and Ryan Ledbetter, they're not with us today because they're currently out at a high school doing some advising. And then we have our director of the first year experience that advocates for all 3 of those little areas, and that position is currently vacant. We do have a departmental assistant as well, and that position is currently vacant. And I forgot my other graduate students here. There's 1 graduate student that works with first year programs in Ignite, and that is Erica Hampson. And she's old from my alma mater, so that's kind of cool. And Kim Gwen, and she helps with the dual enrollment side of things. Okay, I didn't mess up. So I'm just going to briefly talk about orientation, the orientation side of things. We have programs for first-time, first-year freshmen. We have programs for transfer students, for distance learning students, non-traditional students, and move on when ready dual enrollment students who are currently still in high school but need an orientation to the dual enrollment program that is move on when ready. And we'll talk about that in just a little bit. We do 1 and 2 day sessions. We do 2-day sessions for our freshman sessions over the summer, and then we do 1-day sessions for our transfer students and our non-traditional students. And then for our Move On When Ready students, we do kind of half-day sessions. We also do, for our Move On When Ready students, an orientation at the Union campus, and that's always a fun time for me because I very rarely get to get out there, but it's a really cool campus. For our new people, go ahead and take a little trip over there. It's very interesting. It's built in the old Union Hospital. We have a couple of student involvement opportunities within the orientation side of things. The Orientation Leader Program, as well as the Orientation Leader Head Staff Program. The orientation leaders we're currently in recruitment. We've done our second day of group interviews, and we're moving into our third on Friday. And we're looking to recruit another awesome team. It is the pride and joy of what I do here at University of West Georgia, and I really, really love working with the orientation leaders and all the ins and outs of that. Okay, so that is orientation. We are going to go ahead and move on. Ignite and first year programs. So the Ignite program is a summer transition program offered here that is designed to help students kind of bridge the gap from high school to college. Students that are a little bit below our freshman index, they come in over the summer and live on campus and complete an academic course load, and upon successful completion of that course load, they will actually matriculate to UWG as a full-time, fully admitted student. And so we had 75 will come in over the summer, and we have 73 that are still here in full-time classes. So that's great. And then we have one involvement opportunity for students to get involved with the Ignite program beyond just going through it. The Ignite Mentors, it's a peer-to-peer mentoring program that helps those students kind of develop the lifestyle skills that they need to be successful in college, as well as study skills too. And those guys were really active over the summer when the Ignite is actually happening. And then we have the first year program side of things. This encompasses UWG 1101. We're all probably very familiar with that. Some of us might even teach. I know that I am an instructor for UWG 1101, and that's UWG's first year seminar class, in which we can really get students in touch with the ins and outs of this university so that they can be successful, both academically and socially. And then learning communities, intentionally structuring a group of students towards common interests via academics or social groups, and then having those students learn together as they go through. Okay, pre-college programs. So, that is Move On When Ready here. The pre-college program that we execute is Move On When Ready, and that is generally Georgia's dual enrollment program. The term Move On When Ready is relatively new. I believe it got launched in 2015, and there was some really cool new initiatives that came with Move On When Ready. One, it lowered the age limit for dual enrollment programs, as well as it kind of released some barriers in terms of funding for students to get involved with dual enrollment programs. But that is a program that has seen huge growth within the last 5 years here. I was looking at the numbers and I was like, this is staggering. There was like 30 people 5 years ago, and now there's 485 students in it. So that is really cool. And then in the last 3 years, it's grown 500%. We just did I say we, it's really not me, but April and her team, they rolled out their first summer semester for dual enrollment students, which happened last summer. So they're very proud of that. And they are currently off-site doing some advising work. They do a lot of different stuff to maintain the program, meeting with prospective students, doing consultations about the feasibility of enrolling in the dual enrollment program. They do academic advising, and they do off-site recruiting. So, that is the little mini general overview of the first year experience. It was pretty short. For your department, should you present in the future, or when you present in the future, you will be allotted 15 minutes. Not everybody is as small as us, and we know that. And so there is 15 minutes of the day that you will be assigned that you can take that time. But we would typically expect like a 5-minute kind of general overview, such that I did here. Okay, I thought there was more thing that I needed to mention with that, but oh yeah, there is. You'll notice that I talked to you like you guys didn't know anything, and that's really what we're looking for here. So it's kind of a very like, if you did not know anything, or if you were just sitting here and weren't a part of our division or our campus, could you get an idea of what the department does and the services that they provide? So that's it. Is there any questions about how this will rotate through and become a thing at our professional development meetings? Great. Okay, now, this is the fun time. I would, if there was lasers, I would hit them. And I don't know why I walked over here, but so one thing that we wanted to do that we were talking about as a professional development committee was kind of what I was mentioning earlier. There's so many people in our division, and honestly, I don't know like everyone's name. I don't necessarily know where everyone works or what everyone does, and I know that is unrealistic to think that I will know that. But you know, why not try? Why not try? Why not try and build some relationships with some people that you don't know within this great division and kind of get to know each other so that when you're walking across campus, you feel confident, give a little wave to everybody, give a little hi, how you doing? Making that environment something that is positive more than it already is. And to do that, we need to start by shaking hands. We need to start by actually talking to people. And so I'm going to be the guy that at 9 in the morning facilitates speed friending for the entire division. So, I know, I see those faces, guys. I see those faces. For some of you, this is like, what are we doing? Wow. No. For some of you, you're like, yes, heaven, every time. Please, every time. But I do want to do this, and we thought this would be good, and so we are going to do it for the time that we have remaining. And I will proctor it. It's going to be a 1.5 minute handshake and get to know you conversation with the person that you are sitting across from, and then we will rotate one down. Okay? So, in order to do this, please follow my direction. Grab your belongings, what you have with you, and we are going to be switching every row, like every other row around. So, we'll start with the first row. We need to switch this row around, like this, and every other row, we will do that. Okay? So let's get it going. And, you know, if you want to opt out, I totally respect that. And if you want to opt out, I respect that. But we're going to get it going. Challenge by choice, yes. Okay, so once we have our rows turned around and our friend pairs set up, we need everybody to scoot down to the left. So scoot as much as you can down to your right, I guess. Okay, your right, my left. Down here. Talk now, talk, come on. Okay, now we need to fill in every chair. You gotta fill in every chair back to back. So go ahead and take a seat, fill it in. See, the hardest part about speed printing is just setting it up. And then it just comes naturally. It just flows from within. Come now, don't be shy. There's plenty of chairs for us. Plenty. This group over here is smart. They're like, hey, if we hang out over here, it's less time for us to do it. All right, so I'll go ahead and start explaining this really quickly. So, typical speed printing fashion, there's going to be one row that does not move, and there's going to be one row that rotates down. Okay, so if you are facing me, you are going to be, when I hit the buzzer, rotating up to your right. If you are on the end, you will come over and just do your best. If it gets a little conjumbled, just find somebody new. If you need to sit down and sit across your face, just find somebody new, okay? So again, if you are facing me, you will get up and around, and we're rotating to your right. So, some things to talk about: name, hometown, favorite color, favorite food, favorite animal, where you grew up, what you're going to eat for dinner tonight. All of these different things are acceptable, okay? So, we're going to put 1.5 minutes on the clock, starting now. Go! And freeze. And freeze. Can I have everybody's attention, please? Can I have everybody's attention, please? You know what? Keep going. No, keep going. Keep going. We are going to rotate though, so please rotate. Please rotate. If you are facing me, stand up and rotate. Rotate toes. Just one. Just one. All right, time starts now. Time starts now. Okay, y'all, I've just been informed that we have some non-movers, okay? We have some non-movers. I totally understand if you are in a deep conversation with who you were originally talking to, but please, 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 if you did not move, stand up and go ahead and rotate over, okay? All right, that is time. Go ahead and rotate. Stand up in that conversation and go ahead and move on over. If you don't have a partner, raise your hand. All right, let's go ahead and get a rotation in. Yeah. Folks, we understand that some of you do have 9:30 appointments. If you would like to head out now, please go ahead and do so. That's totally fine. If you do have a 9:30 appointment you need to get to, more than welcome to head out now. But if you do want to stay and chat, you're more than welcome to do that as well. I'll stay here for another 5 minutes and keep it going. Final rotation. Final rotation. Make this one count, y'all. Make it count. This is the last one. All right, y'all, we're going to go ahead and call it on that one. Thank you so much for your participation. Give yourself a round of applause. Give yourself a round of applause. That was hard for you. Put your hand up, give yourself a little pat on the back. We'll see you next time. Same bat time, same bat channel. Thanks, y'all. Have a good rest of your week.
I am on the road to the San Jose airport. 3 hours from here. Go Tigers.